June 13, 1994, San Antonio, Texas. Sweltering heat hung heavy in the air, the sound of basketballs echoed from the local court. Amongst the flurry of teenage energy, 13-year-old Nicholas Barclay vanished. Last seen at a basketball court, he simply disappeared, leaving behind a mystery that would baffle authorities and torment his family for years to come. Nicholas, Nicky to his family, was a mischievous and energetic boy. He loved basketball, video games, and hanging out with his older brother Jason. His infectious laughter and playful pranks were a constant in the Barclay household. But behind the mischievous grin was a sensitive soul, deeply connected to his mother, Beverly. The day started like any other. Nicholas, eager to meet his friends, grabbed his basketball and headed out. He promised his mother he'd be back for lunch, a promise that would remain tragically unkept. Hours turned into a night of agonizing worry. Beverly, frantic, contacted Nicholas's friends, but no one had seen him since the basketball court. The chilling realization dawned: something was terribly wrong. Days bled into weeks, each one a painful reminder of Nicholas's absence. Beverly, consumed by grief and clinging to hope, never gave up searching. The community, shaken, rallied around the Barclays, organizing searches and prayer vigils. The case, however, grew colder with each passing day, the trail of the missing teenager lost in a maze of dead ends. Section 5. The search begins. A glimmer in Spain? 3.5 years later, a beacon of hope emerged on the horizon. The days had turned into months, and the months into years, each one marked by the relentless passage of time. The family had almost given up hope, but then, out of the blue, came a glimmer of light. It all started with a phone call from Spain. The phone rang, breaking the silence that had settled over the household like a heavy fog. The sound was almost surreal, a lifeline thrown into the sea of despair. On the other end of the line was a boy, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and hope. He claimed to be Nicholas, the boy who had vanished without a trace. His words were hesitant, as if he was unsure whether he would be believed. He told a harrowing tale of abduction and escape, a story that seemed almost too incredible to be true. He spoke of dark days and even darker nights, of a shadowy figure that haunted his every step. But through it all, he had held onto one thing: the hope of returning to his family. He yearned for his family, the faces he had memorized from photographs, the voices he had replayed in his mind like a comforting lullaby. He spoke of the longing that had kept him going, the dream of one day being reunited with those he loved. Beverly, her heart pounding with a mix of disbelief and overwhelming joy, listened to the voice on the other end. Could it really be him? Could this be her son, back from the abyss? Her mind raced with questions, but her heart clung to hope. Tears welled up in her eyes as she listened, her emotions a whirlwind of hope, fear, and love. She wanted to believe, needed to believe, that this was her son. The boy she had lost, the boy she had mourned. Was he really coming back to her? The possibility was almost too much to bear. But in that moment, she allowed herself to hope. Section 6. Frédéric Bourdin, Master of Deception. In the annals of criminal history, few names evoke as much intrigue and bewilderment as Frédéric Bourdin. Known for his unparalleled ability to weave intricate webs of lies, Bourdin's story is one of audacity and cunning. His most infamous deception took place in the late 1990s, when he assumed the identity of a missing Texas boy, Nicholas Barclay. The boy arrived in Texas. He stepped off the plane, his demeanor a mix of apprehension and relief. The airport buzzed with activity, but all eyes were on him. This was no ordinary homecoming. It was a moment charged with emotion and expectation. He bore a resemblance to Nicholas, though his features were different, his eyes a different color. His hair was darker, and his face had subtle differences. Yet the family, desperate for closure, clung to the hope that this was indeed their long-lost son. He spoke with a strange accent, attributing it to his ordeal. He claimed that his captors had forced him to speak in a different language, which had altered his accent. His voice, though familiar, carried the weight of his supposed suffering. The family, blinded by hope and desperate to believe, embraced him. Tears flowed freely as they welcomed him back into their lives. They showered him with love and attention, eager to make up for the lost years. Their home, once filled with sorrow, now echoed with laughter and joy. But doubts lingered, whispers of inconsistencies in his story. Some family members noticed the discrepancies in his appearance and behavior. They questioned his memories. which seemed fragmented and vague. The boy's explanations, though convincing, left a trail of unanswered questions. This was no ordinary missing person case. The local authorities, initially overjoyed at the boy's return, began to scrutinize the details. Detectives pored over the case files, comparing the boy's story with the known facts. The more they investigated, the more perplexing the case became. It was about to take an even more bizarre turn. As the investigation deepened, startling revelations came to light. The boy's past, his journey, and his very identity were shrouded in mystery. The truth, when it finally emerged, was stranger than fiction. The boy who claimed to be Nicholas Barclay was, in fact, a 23-year-old French con artist named Frédéric Bourdin, a master of deception with a history of impersonating missing children. Bourdin had perfected the art of disguise, changing his appearance and mannerisms to fit his chosen identity. His ability to manipulate and deceive was unparalleled, making him one of the most notorious imposters of our time. Bourdin's deception was not a spur-of-the-moment act, it was a meticulously planned operation. He studied photographs of missing children, learning their habits, their mannerisms, and their stories. He immersed himself in their lives, becoming them in every conceivable way. His goal was not just to deceive, but to inhabit the very essence of his victims. Over the years, Bourdin had assumed multiple identities, each time fooling families and authorities alike. His ability to evoke sympathy and trust was uncanny. He preyed on the vulnerabilities of those who had lost loved ones, offering them a glimmer of hope in their darkest hours. His actions, though reprehensible, were a testament to his skill as a master manipulator. Eventually, Bourdin's web of lies began to unravel. The inconsistencies in his stories, the doubts of the family, and the relentless pursuit of the truth by the authorities led to his downfall. He was arrested and brought to trial, where his true identity was revealed. The courtroom was stunned as the extent of his deception came to light. Frédéric Bourdin was sentenced to prison, but his story did not end there. Even behind bars, he continued to reflect on his actions, often justifying them as a means of survival. His life, a complex tapestry of lies and truths, remains a subject of fascination and horror. Bourdin's tale serves as a chilling reminder of the lengths to which some will go to deceive, and the devastating impact such deception can have on the lives of others. Section 7. Unmasking the Imposter. The truth unraveled slowly. An FBI investigation, fueled by suspicions and discrepancies in Bourdin's story, chipped away at the facade. Fingerprints confirmed their worst fears. The boy was not Nicholas. The family, devastated, felt betrayed, their hope brutally snatched away. Bourdin, a chameleon who had seamlessly woven himself into their lives, was exposed. Section 8. The mystery continues. The imposter was apprehended, but the real mystery remained. What happened to Nicholas Barclay? The question haunted everyone, a chilling reminder of a life stolen. Theories abound. A runaway, a tragic accident, foul play. Each possibility as plausible as it is heart-wrenching. The case, now shrouded in more layers of intrigue, continues to baffle investigators to this day. Section 9. A wound that never heals. This is a story that delves deep into the heart of a mystery that has haunted a family and a community for years. It is a tale of loss, hope, and the relentless search for answers. Nicholas Barclay's disappearance is a chilling reminder of the fragility of life. On that fateful day, a young boy vanished without a trace, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. The streets he once walked are now filled with whispers and shadows, each corner holding a memory of his presence. The enduring power of hope and despair is evident in the faces of his family. They gather, year after year, holding on to the fragile thread of hope that Nicholas will return. Candlelight vigils are held, illuminating the night with flickers of faith and sorrow. Each hug, each tear is a testament to their unyielding love and the pain of not knowing. It's a story of a family forever scarred, their lives marked by an empty chair at the dinner table and a missing face in family photos. Every meal, every celebration, is a stark reminder of the absence that looms over them. The laughter that once filled their home is now tinged with a lingering sadness. A community left in suspense, the disappearance of Nicholas Barclay has cast a long shadow over the town. Neighbors gather, sharing stories and speculations, their eyes filled with worry and uncertainty. The once vibrant community is now a place of hushed conversations and cautious glances, each person wondering if they could have done something to prevent this tragedy, and a truth lost in a labyrinth of unanswered questions. Detectives and investigators have pored over countless clues, each one leading to more questions than answers. The search for Nicholas has become a complex puzzle, with pieces that refuse to fit together. The walls of the investigation room are covered with photos and notes, a testament to the relentless pursuit of the truth. Until the mystery is solved, time seems to stand still for those who loved Nicholas. The slow ticking of the clock and the crossing off of dates on the calendar are constant reminders of the days, months, and years that have passed without answers. Each passing moment is a painful reminder of the uncertainty that plagues their lives. The shadow of Nicholas's absence will continue to loom large, casting a pall over the lives of those who knew and loved him. His empty bedroom, once filled with laughter and dreams, now stands as a silent witness to his absence. The forlorn teddy bear on his bed is a poignant symbol of the childhood that was abruptly taken away, a chilling reminder of a life unfinished, a story untold. Nicholas's disappearance is not just a personal tragedy, but a narrative that remains incomplete. The open, unfinished book and the lonely swing set moving slowly in the wind are metaphors for the potential and promise that were lost. Until the day the truth is uncovered, the wound will remain, a haunting echo of a life that could have been.